As someone who recently bought a house in Dublin, which I can only describe as war, I'm gonna give you some tips on what I think is the best strategy when it comes to buy a house here. Tip number one, save beyond your deposit and get your finances in order. If you're applying for a mortgage in Ireland, you need to show at least 6 months of consistent savings. There are some red flags that lenders look at, like gambling transactions, missed payments, and lots of debt. So you might want to look into those things before you get your AIP. And please remember, your deposit is not the only money you will need. On top of that, you'll need money for additional fees, like your solicitor fee, surveyor, stamp duty, mortgage protection, life insurance, bank valuation, furniture, and potentially renovations. Only when I felt like I had all those things covered did I start going to viewings. Number two, and speaking of viewings, don't even bother unless you have your approval in principle ready to go. Things can move pretty fast at this stage, and from my experience, a lot of estate agents won't even let you place an offer unless you have your approval in principle. One extra tip on this, redact the amount for which you were approved before sending it over. They only need proof that you were approved. They don't need to know your maximum budget. Agents will use every trick in the book to increase your offer, and you really don't want to show them how much they can stretch you. I've always done this and never had any issues. Tip number three, research smartly on Daft. Something that worked really well for me was to set the maximum amount to 75 to 100k less than what I could afford. Because trust me, once the bidding process starts, things can get ugly fast and you want to be covered. From experience, you will start full of hope and search in your dream locations, which by all means you should do. But a few months in and a high level of frustration later, your requirements will drop so much you will start considering an apartment with a balcony overlooking the train station. True story. Next tip is around the bidding process, and my advice is to set boundaries. Once the bidding war starts, emotions will take over. It will feel like you're in Vegas and playing with fake money, and suddenly it's not about buying a house anymore, it's about winning the game, just that nobody's winning and you're all losing a lot more money than it's worth. And remember, in Ireland there's zero transparency whatsoever on the bidding process. You are bidding against names on a screen and you have no way of knowing if they're real or not. That's why your best defense is your boundaries. Something that really helped me set my boundaries was using the Carl's mortgage calculator. You basically put the property value, the down payment, the interest rate, and the total number of years, and it automatically calculates your monthly repayments. So that will give you an indication of will I be able to afford it or not, because otherwise you will trick yourself into thinking it's just 5k more, it's just 10k more, but in the end it's not gonna be sustainable. Save this video and follow along, because in the next video we're talking about the mortgage process. And if you bought in Dublin, let me know in the comments how much above asking price you end up paying.